The Regional Intensive Evangelism Institute, which seeks to help the believer find his or her mission, is quickly spreading to the world. This training began in Korea in April of last year and is spreading to countries like Japan, the US, and China. At present, 6,000 believers from 410 churches are receiving training on the 20th. The first graduation was held in Korea. The college evangelism movement is arising throughout the Philippines. The door to evangelism opened in the College of Isabela and Santiago, and 20 people, including the university chancellor and professors, received first-level camp training in Busan starting on the 11th. Also, the evangelism movement in Our Lady of Fatima University and Bulacan State University is continuously arising through remnants in those colleges. Even a typhoon couldn't block the footsteps of the evangelists. The intensive camp began with the pastor's intensive training in Tarlac on the 21st, where 40 pastors received training, followed by the Baguio intensive camp, where 25 Filipino committed workers received training. Starting this 14th semester, the Church Officer Graduate School for training church officers to plan evangelism and restore the field will supplement specialized training to restore the three fields which church officers have lost hold of, which are the Regional Church Movement, Remnant Internship, and the three entrepreneurships. The NGO Missions Department, an important door for evangelism and missions, was founded on the 10th. Uniworld, operated by Yewan Church, has been transferred to the Evangelism Alliance under the auspices of the NGO Missions Department. Hello everyone, this is the Philippines RUTC News. As the Regional Intensive Evangelism Institute is quickly spreading to the world, on the 20th, the first graduation was held for disciples who had met the graduation requirements of leading over 30 people to accept Christ and connecting at least 3 people to the church. The Intensive Evangelism Institute began in Korea in April of last year. This past April, it spread to Tokyo, Japan, and in May to Penn State, US, and Nagoya, Japan. In September, it spread to Hong Kong and Guangzhou, China. In October, it spread to LA, US, and at present, 6,000 believers are participating in the training. Through the training, church officers are discovering their mission, and the evangelism movement is arising full force, centered on the disciples who are doors for evangelism in the field. Among them, 3 disciples, including Senior Deaconess Shin Hee-ja of Usan Great Love Church, who led over 30 people to accept Christ, and connecting at least 3 people to the church, were commissioned to the field on the 20th.
매일 생각 좀 해요. 매일. 우리 산업인들을 보니까 집중하는데 되게 힘들더라고. 각인 뿌리 체질을 어떻게 바꿀 것인가 하다가 녹취하는 그 순간만큼은 집중이 되는 거예요. 집중하지요. 또 소리 내지요. 반복적이잖아요.
집중 신학원에 온 분들이 전도가 안 돼서 앉아 있잖아요. 여기 안에 있지 않나. 이곳에 저와 같은 고민이 있는 자가 있다면 만나지게 해달라고 그 기도했었어요. 그랬는데 유희정 집사님이 만나진 거예요. 이분이 이제 누군가 전해줬으면 하는 마음에 동네 친구를 데려오신 거예요. 그 누군가가 제가 된 거죠. 그분이 이제 복음을 듣고 그 다음 주에 갔더니 동생을 데려다 놨어요. 그리고 또 그 다음 주에 갔더니 엄마, 또 옆집 언니 뭐 이런 거 있잖아요. 계속 그렇게 데려다 놓으신 거예요.
다락방에 20가지 전략이 있잖아요. 훈련 20가지 전략이 이 목사님 그 말씀은 이게 인생 성공의 길이다. 근데 내가 밟아 보니까 진짜 인생 성공의 길. 그러니까 내가 제자들에게 훈련을 강조 안 할 수가 없어.
Pastors are renewing their eyes to see the field through the training of relaying weekly missions to the church members.
상상 외로 진짜 현장에 예비된 현장이 많다. 진짜 이게 전도구나라고 하는 맛을 이제 조금 눈뜬 것 같습니다. 이 얘기는 지금 5월달에 또 예약을 해놨는데 1년 동안 또 준비해야 되겠다. 그러면서 실제로 개인이 전도되어지는 개인화를 시켜야 되겠다.
Within this atmosphere, churches taking part in the training are enjoying the answer of the intensive training through the restoration of early morning worship and the church atmosphere becoming centered on evangelism. Within this year, the Regional Intensive Evangelism Institute will be opened in Taiwan and major cities of China. Japan and the US are preparing for the 2nd semester of training. In Korea, the 4th semester is currently in session. The college evangelism movement is on the rise to the Philippines in the regions of Isabela, Santiago, and Bulacan. The door to evangelism opened in the colleges of Isabela and Santiago, and 20 people, including the university chancellor and professors, received first-level camp training in Busan starting on the 11th. The door to Isabela State University was opened through missionary Yoon Jae-suk and Pastor Stella of Remnant Emmanuel Church in Quezon. This university is a prestigious school with 12 campuses in major cities. The chancellor and former chancellor of the Iligan campus, along with the professors of 5 departments, including electrical engineering, IT, education, English, and science, received the gospel and received first-level camp training. These professors are committed workers for college evangelization, gathering 400 students each week to share the gospel. The door to evangelism opened in the University of Makati as well, and 6 professors received the gospel and are being raised as workers. Reverend Kim Hyun-soo of Bulacan Harvesters Mission Church is ministering to the remnants of Fatima University and the Bulacan State University, leading them to write a list of 300 people to continue the acceptance movement. 3 months ago, a Filipino student from a devout Catholic family line who was afflicted by demons received the gospel, received healing, and even entered college. This student has become a committed worker who hopes to share the gospel to other students who are afflicted by demons. The evangelism movement is arising full force through the prepared disciples in major colleges and institutions, including the National Police Agency, prisons, and Santiago City colleges and high schools. The Philippines intensive camp began on the 21st in Tarlac with the pastor's training, followed by the Filipino committed worker and minister's intensive training held in Baguio. Branches broke off trees and houses collapsed because of the typhoon. Prior to the intensive camp, torrential rains continued in Baguio, but even that could not block the footsteps of the evangelists. In Tarlac, where 40 pastors gathered to receive training, the weather miraculously cleared and the pastors focused on the training with praise and thanksgiving. The training was held under the theme, Personalization of the Fundamental Mission, and most of the Filipino pastors were receiving training for the first time. As a result, a personalization training of imprinting the depth of Christ, including the meaning of Christ and prayer to enjoy Christ, was held.
I'm praying my place of ministry will be a place where the people may know who's Jesus, the only way, and Jesus, the only solution to all problems.
The intensive camp that was held in Baguio was held at the Life Giving Church, where missionary Min Bok Ki is the senior pastor. The training was held under the theme, Mission of the Mount of Olives. Baguio committed workers of Manila One Light Church, and Filipino committed workers who had received intensive training in Korea during the summer participated in the training. These committed workers have continued the 3 days until now and are receiving the answer of concentration of changing their incorrect imprints with the gospel.
I grab hold onto the message that only Jesus Christ can change my imprint, root in nature, and if I put myself deeply in Christ and meditate Christ every day, I will be fully changed, little by little, with the help of God. Because with myself, I can't do it, but with Christ, nothing is impossible.
Also, following the intensive training, participants scattered to the evangelism fields of each church and carried out the camp of finding the preparatory regional church. Starting this 14th semester, the Church Officer Graduate School for training church officers to plan evangelism and restore the field will supplement specialized training to restore the 3 fields which church officers have lost hold of, which are the regional church movement, the remnant internship, and 3 entrepreneurships.
중대원은 놓친 것 회복할 기회입니다. 앞으로 중대원에서 이게 전문성 있게 한번 반도 나눠보고 모여보세요. 지교회 반, 그 다음에 어떤 면에서는 인턴십 반 이런 게 있어야 됩니다. 구체화시켜야 돼요.
For this purpose, the Church Officer Graduate School is receiving nominations of church officers who are continuing regional church ministry, church officers receiving answers in remnant internship, and church officers who can lead the 3 entrepreneurships. These individuals will be raised as the steering committee for each specialized training, and centered on them, church officers will be gathered to share form and receive training through specialized meetings. The Church Officer Graduate School is compiling a list of potential steering committee candidates from individual churches and synods. It is also discussing its future plans. The 14th semester came into session in September, and Reverend Yu Kwang-soo will give 4 lectures on systematic theology, Reverend Kim Sung-ho will give a lecture on church history, and Reverend Na Young-hwa will give a lecture on the Bible and theology, and church officers will give their field forum. The Synod United closing worship will be held on December 27th. 5,000 church officers from 13 nations are participating in the Church Officer Graduate School. The Evangelism Alliance has founded the NGO Missions Department. The Evangelism Alliance founded the NGO Missions Department on the 10th, and the director is Pastor Yu Sung-jung of Emmanuel Soul Church. Especially, UniWorld, operated by Yewan Church, has been transferred to the Evangelism Alliance under the auspices of the NGO Missions Department. The NGO Missions Department will continue projects led by UniWorld, which include World Youth Art Competition, Kenya Occupational School, educational projects, Philippines Taekwondo missions, and volunteer activities. Also, it will continue large-scale projects that have been acknowledged by the public. It will work together with different institutions to manage NGO projects that are connected with the Evangelism Alliance and account for church NGO activities and scattered NGO professionals in order to establish a network. Remnant April Joy De Sena of Philippines True Light Church received the first place award for her submission Legalista in the Remnant International Film Contest hosted by the RUTC Broadcasting Station. This film depicts the path of a young adult who hits rock bottom, but becomes a true evangelist by meeting an evangelist with the true gospel.
This feeling is awesome, and it's nice to compete. Surely with the holding on to the gospel.
Really overwhelming to think that we did not expect to win this, and hopefully we gave the right message to the viewers.
Young adult Lee Shin-hye of Emmanuel Soul Church also won first place together with her team for her submission, Do You See Ghosts? The award ceremony was held on the 12th of last month at Yewan Church. These two winning teams received an award certificate together with a monetary prize of 2 million won. The runners-up were young adult Park Jung-sil of Emmanuel Church's Wind That Blows in Kilimanjaro, Deacon Lee Hyun-chul of Yewan Church's Person Who Walks the Path, RGS Remnant's Global Royal Spy, and Remnant Chae Hyun-jung of Emmanuel Haeundae's Church's I Am David. They each received an award certificate and a monetary prize of 5,000 won each. The RUTC broadcasting station will host this contest next year as well, in order to raise gifted individuals of the broadcast media field. You can watch all the submissions, including the winning films, on the contest homepage. This has been your Philippines RUTC News. Thanks for watching.